Good morning, dear student. Today's our topic is sexual reproduction in flower. Sexual reproduction in flower. Okay. So, first of all, I will draw the structure of flower, right? So how to draw the structure of flower? You get here. And that is male reproductive part of flower. It's called as stamen, right? It's drawn like that. Okay. Now, this is a world of flower. Now we are drawing the petals of flower, right? That is petals. From these petals, small green leaf-like structure arises. Okay. And this portion of the flower. Okay, now I am level. This is all about the structure of flower. This is okay. The stalk of the flower is called as pedicel. You can see above the stalk, the solemn portion is there. That's called as thalamus. Okay, you can see this portion, right? This portion is called as calyx. The calyx is also known as carpel. You can see this portion, that's called as corolla. Corolla is also known as petals. Okay. Now this is called as filament, and this is called as anther, and both filament and anther is called as stamen, or is also known as androecium. So now here you can see here, that's called as ovary. this long stalk is called as style, and on this is a small bulb like structure, you can see that's called stigma. And all stigma, style, ovary, this all three parts of carpel, or it's also known as gynoecium. Okay, this is a typical structure of flower, right? Now we are going to see what type of reproduction occurs in flower. Okay, so this is a flower. So I can say first point, the typical flower. This is a structure of most of the flower have just like this like structure. That's why it's not typical. The structure, a typical flower consists of pedicel, thalamus, and four volts. Okay, it consists of three parts. That three parts are pedicel, second is thalamus, and third is called as four volts. Okay, so this pedicel, this is thalamus, and whatever the structures are there, that is called a four volts. Okay, the four volt consists of first, it's called as sepal. Right here, sepals. Second, it's called as petals. Third, stamen, and fourth is called as carpels. Okay, the sepals is also known as calyx. Petals is also known as corolla. Stamen is known as androecium. Now carpel is known as gynoecium. Okay, so I repeat this point. A typical flower, a flower consists of three parts, right? The part first is called as pedicel, second is called as thalamus, and all four whorls. And the whorls includes four whorls. That is called as first, you can see green-like structure, that's called as sepals. Sorry, it's wrong. It's called as sepals. Okay. Then you get colorful structure, that's called as petals. Then you can see this structure, that's called as stamen, and you can see that structure. Okay, that's called as carpels, right? Suppose I'm taking example of hibiscus rosa sinensis, China rose, jasmine ka flower, right? So you can see the stalk of this jasmine flower, that called as pedicels. Okay, and you can see the green leafy structures present below the petals of the flowers. जो कलरफुल फ्लावर्स होते हैं, पेटल्स होते हैं, उसके नीचे ग्रीन कलर के लीव्स रहते हैं. दैट ग्रीन कलर लीव्स इज नोन एज कैलिक्स, इज नोन एज सेपल्स. ओके, एंड दिस कलरफुल petals of this flower, it may be a red, it may be a yellow, it may be a orange, it may be a purple, right? That colorful structure of the flower is known as petals, and the petals is also known as corolla. Right, now you can see the one structure is there inside this petal. This have a yellow, and yellow color is present, and there is stalk like structure. Okay, this filament like structure. That structure is called as stamen. Okay, and beside the stamen, inside the stamen, once this type of structure is there, that's called as carpel. Okay, now you can see this stamen and carpel. Okay, this stamen and this carpel. This two structure is known as essential whorls of flower. Essential whorls. Okay, these two stamen, and these sepals and petals is known as essential walls, or it's also known as accessory walls. Okay, so what do you mean by non-necessary walls and what do you mean by essential walls? Okay, so this 4 walls they have sepals, petals, stamen and carpel, right? So stamen and carpel, these walls are known as essential walls because they actually take part in the process of reproduction. Stamen and carpels take part in sexual reproduction. Okay, that's why this stamen and carpel is known as essential walls, and sepal and petals are known as non-essential walls. Why it is called? They do not take part in the process of sexual reproduction. Okay, stamen is nothing but the male part, and carpel is nothing but the female part. Okay, the stamen is the male part of the flower, whereas this carpel, it is a female part of the flower. So now we study what exactly. So we already studied that much. What a typical flower consists of 3 parts that called as stalk of the flower is known as pedicel, thalamus and 4 whorls. Okay, these 4 whorls includes sepals, petals, stamen and carpel. Sepals is also known as calyx, petals is also known as corolla, stamen is also known as androecium, carpel is known as gynoecium. Stamen is a male part of this flower and carpel is a female part of the flower. Okay, so that's why stamen and carpel is known as essential wall. Why? Because these 2 parts are help in the process of sexual reproduction in flower. That's why the stamen and carpel is known as essential wall. Whereas the staple and petals are not taking part in a process of sexual reproduction. That's why this part, sepals and petals, are known as non-essential whorls, or it's also known as accessory whorls. It's supportive whorls. Okay. Now, next we will study. We will see all this one by one. First we study pedicel. Okay. What is pedicel? The structure you can see. Okay, this structure is known as pedicel. So what is pedicel? Pedicel is nothing but the stalk of the flower. Okay, so what is pedicel? Is the stalk of the flower. The stalk of the flower is known as pedicel. Second part is thalamus. What is thalamus? This thalamus, this portion you can see here, this portion, that portion is known as thalamus. Okay, now thalamus is also known as torus. Okay, this thalamus is also known as torus. It also known as receptacle. Okay, this portion is another name of this thalamus is called as torus, or is also known as receptacle. Fine. Now you can see it's highly condensed part of the stem. Okay, so it is known as, or it is called as, it is a highly condensed shoot. Right, it is highly, this is a part of stem, right? Okay, so stem, and this is a solen shaped structure, so it's highly condensed part shoot. Okay, that highly condensed shoot is known as thalamus. Another name of thalamus is torus and receptacle. Now we study the 4 whorls of flower. Okay, the first, Now third part of this typical flower is whorls. Okay, four whorls. There are four whorls are present. We already studied that one. These whorls. Okay. Now we study the first whorl of the flower. That whorl is known as sepal. Okay. Or we also known as calyx. So I put here calyx. Calyx is the scientific name of that part. Okay, calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. So first part of whorls is this. That's called as calyx or is known as staples. Okay, so we study this one. You can see this portion. You can see this portion. Okay, on both the side. This portion is known as calyx. So it is a outermost, सबसे बाहर वाला portion है. So it is a outermost wall of the flower. Okay, so calyx is the outermost, सबसे बाहर वाला. It is the outermost walls of the flower. Okay, which is made up of. Okay, next, which is made up of, jasmine flower, right? So the outermost layer, it contains green leaf-like structure. That leaf-like structure is known as calyx. Okay, so I can say like that is the outermost walls of the flower, and which is made up of green color sepals. Yes, which is made up of green colored sepals. Okay, what is the role of that? It protects, kali of jasmine flower. Okay, so it protects the flower in bud condition. This is a bud of flower. Okay, जो कली है, okay, you can see this calyx पूरा cover करके रखता है, अंदर petals होते हैं. Okay, that is a bud situation. So what is the another points of that? It protects the flower in bud condition. Okay, and as we know that as being a green in color, so it, right, as also it's being green in color, it perform the function of photosynthesis. It perform, what is the function? It perform the function of photosynthesis. Understood? Okay. So calyx is the first wall of the flower. This calyx is also known as sepals. Okay, so I can say it is the outermost walls of the flower. It is the first outermost wall of the flower, which is made up of green color sepals. What is role? It protects the flower in bud condition, and as being a green in colors, it performs the function. Which function? It performs the functions of photosynthesis. Okay, done. Now we will proceed to the second part, that's called as petals. Now shall I rub this portion? Then I will tell. Look, otherwise we'll start here. The second portion of the flower, it's called as corolla, right? You can see the petals. जैसे कि if we are talking about a rose plant, तो rose plant में petals होते हैं red in color, yellow in color, pink in color, purple in color, right? So these all are the petals. Now this petals is known as corolla. Understood? Now we study. So I can say this is a staple, and you can say this portion, this part, okay, this part is known as petals. Okay, so what is petal? It is the largest. बहुत बड़ा होता है. Yes, it is the largest, and it's the first one. This one, calyx, is the second one. Okay, it is the largest second wall of the flower. Okay, it's present inner to the calyx. Yes, which is inner to calyx, यानी calyx के अंदर, right? Okay, so it is the largest second walls of the flower is inner to the calyx. The next part, you can see it is made up of bright color petals. Okay, it is made up of bright colored petals. These petals are very bright in color, just like they are red in color, yellow in color, orange in color. So many colors they have. So they have very bright colors. Okay, whereas calyx is only and only made up of green color, leaf-like structures. Okay, but whereas this corolla is made up of bright color petals, right? Why it has that? So it's being a white, it's being a bright in color, it's being a very colorful, so it attracts the insect. So being bright in color, being very colorful, it attracts insects for pollination. Okay, then next point is that it protects the, what is the role of the calyx? It protects the corolla. Okay, so this corolla, that is petals, also protect the inner walls of the flower. That inner walls is stamen and carpel. So what is another functions of that? It protects inner walls. Which walls? Like stamen and carpel. Like stamen and carpel. This stamen is known as androecium. Okay, whereas carpel is known as gynoecium. Understood that much? I repeat once again this corolla. Corolla is this largest second walls of the flower, which is inner to the calyx. Calyx के अंदर वाला portion, so it is inner to the calyx. As we know that it is made up of very bright in color, बहुत dark color, attractive colors से ये बनता है, right? So because of its being a very bright in color, very dark in color, very attractive in color, it attracts the insect for pollination. We'll see what is meant by pollination. Okay, it attracts the insect for pollination. Okay, what is the function of this corolla? It protects the inner walls that are present inside. What is the inner walls are present inside the, that's called stamen and carpel. Okay, so it protects the inner walls like stamen and carpel. Stamen is a male part, that's called as androecium, whereas carpel is female part, it's known as gynoecium. Okay, now we will see the third part, that's called as stamen. And this two part is known as non-essential walls, or is also known as accessory walls. Why? Because these two parts are not taking part in the process of sexual reproduction in flower. Now next part, next wall of the flowers is third walls. The third wall is known as stamen, or it's also known as androecium. Okay, what is the third wall of the flower? It's known as androecium. Okay, so androecium, what is first? As we know that it is a essential, right? It is essential. Which wall? Third wall. Yes, It is essential third wall of the flower, and which is inner to the corolla. Okay, inner to corolla. It's very simple. Okay, there is no need to learn mug up all these things. So you have to, on the basis of diaphragm, you can write it down these points. Okay, so what is this? This is called as androecium. Okay, this structure, okay, you can see, I will point, this structure is known as androecium. Okay, so androecium is essential wall, as we know that, because it's taking part in the process of sexual reproduction, and is a third wall of the flower, and which is present inner to the corolla. This is the first wall, second wall, and third wall, and it's present, second wall is corolla, so it is present inner to the corolla. Next point is that it is a male reproductive part. Okay, it is a male reproductive part of the flower. This androecium is a male reproductive part of the flower, and this is made up of stamen. और किससे बनता है ये? This is made up of stamen. Okay, now we study 4 points. What is it? Is an essential third word of the flower, which is present inner to the corolla. It is a male reproductive part, and which is made up of stamen. Understood? Now, each stamen, which part? I will draw the diagram so you can understand very well, right? Okay, this is a structure of stamen. Okay, that's called as stamen, or that's called as androecium. So androecium has 2 parts. Each stamen has 3 parts. Okay, what 3 parts? First part, it's called as anther. This part, you can see this 2 structure, that is called as anther. You can see long tube-like structure, that's called as filament. Okay, and you can see this, that's called as filament. And you know, this filament and this anther is joined by the small connective, that's called as connective. Understood? This is the structure of stamen, and last part is known as connective. Okay, so each stamen has 3 parts, that's called anther, connective, and filament. Okay, now this portion, you can see, this is called as anther. Now next point, anther consists of 2 lobes. This is anther, 1 and 2 lobes. Okay, so anther consists of how many lobes? It contains 2 lobes. Okay, that lobes, each lobes, now 1 and 2 lobes, each lobe has, inside this 2 lobe, has this type of structure is present. Okay, so inside each lobe, these 2 small circular structures are there. Okay, that it's called as pollen sac. Each lobe has 2 pollen sac, or it's also known as pollen chamber. Okay, understood? You can see this is a 2 lobes are present. Okay, and each lobes contain 2 small circular structure, that is called as pollen chamber or pollen sac. Now this pollen sac contains many pollen grains, and as we know that pollen grains are yellowish in color. Okay, inside this so many numbers of pollen grains are there, and that pollen grains have yellow in color. And these pollen grains develop, what they develop? They develop male gamete. Understood? Got it? So this is all about the third whorl of the flower, that's called as androecium. Okay, what is androecium? It is a essential third whorl of the flower. It is inner to the corolla. It is a male reproductive part of the flower, and it's made up of stamen. Each stamen consists of three parts. First is called as anther, second is called as connective, third is called as filament. You can see this long elongated structure is known as anther, and each anther, this one side anther, right, left and right and left. Okay, so each lobe of this anther consists of two lobes, and each lobe has two pollen sacs. That pollen sacs is known as pollen chamber, and that pollen chamber contain many pollen grains that is yellow in color, and that pollen grain develop the male gamete. So this is all about the stamen. The next whorl of the flower, fourth whorl, that's called as gynoecium. Okay, we study the four essential whorl of the flower. That whorl is known as gynoecium. Okay, I will draw the diagram just like this. You have to draw the diagram when there is short notes coming in exam like stamen or androecium. You should, after drawing this, you have to draw this diagram also. Okay, and here is also I will draw the diagram of gynoecium. How is it? Now listen it here. Look at here very carefully how to draw the diagram of gynoecium. So here ovule, the structure, okay. Now here it also surrounded by that double layer. Okay, and from this middle it's one tube-like structure is coming out. We can just draw the structure like that and cover it. Okay, now this is the structure. After that, then you draw